What's up, everyone? It's Flex coming to you on this Saturday of a long weekend, and I hope that you all are enjoying your Thanksgiving for my Canadian followers. I want to talk a little bit about this ridiculous announcement that Mark Carney made this week, and it's comical because I really feel like he had to say something. He had to make some kind of announcement to change the news cycle away from his disastrous meeting with Donald Trump, which accomplished nothing yet again. Huge entourage. What an embarrassment. They're all sitting there saying nothing. Donald Trump is just, you know, uh, stealing the scene, and he's the only one that matters in the whole meeting. It's just ridiculous. They just made absolute fools of themselves. And Dominic LeBlanc and Melanie Jolie and Anita Anand, they all came back and made all their social media posts about how they had they must have thesauruses on their desk to come up with all these different synonyms for their meetings. Oh, it's a very productive meeting, and we had deep, meaningful conversations about shared values and this and that. Like, it's all the same nonsense. But anyways, mainstream media, the headlines are just absolutely comical because they tell us, oh, well, it's good that he didn't come up with a deal. It's good that he didn't make a deal. This, that, no matter what Carney does, the mainstream media toots his horn. And I'm so sick of it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that we're subsidizing the CBC and all these other mainstream media companies, and they just spoon feed us garbage. It's all absolute garbage. Okay, so what was this big announcement? This big announcement that he had to make this week. I think it was on Thursday. First thing, automatic tax filings. This is so he prefaced the announcement by saying, "Oh, we're enacting these measures to make life more affordable for Canadians." Okay, automatic tax filing. I don't agree with that one bit. But how are they trying to dress this up and portray it like it's helping people and saving people money? I don't get it. I don't get it. And they're dressing it up like, oh, well, we just want to make sure that everybody gets the benefits they're entitled to. This is next level gaslighting of society. It's an absolute joke. It's more control. It's the government taking more control over you and your finances. And we don't need them having any more control over us and our finances. They have way too much already. So the second thing that he announced was that the school food program would be made permanent. It's not the government's job to feed our kids. It's not. And all you lefties can say, oh, if you're against feeding children, then you're evil and this and that. No, you know what I'm against? I'm against the government making people so poor through overtaxation that kids are going to school hungry. The easiest way this government can help people and make people's lives more affordable is to stop taxing them to death. Okay? The most popular tax bracket in Canada is the 57,000 to I think it's 105,000, and the provincial tax brackets are slightly off. But basically, if you make between 60 and 100,000 or just over 100,000 in Ontario, you're paying 30% of your income. 30% of your income is going directly to income tax. Okay? And then on top of that, you got CPP and EI, and I don't even want to hear it from you people that say they're not a tax. It's a tax, okay? It's absolutely a tax, CPP and EI. Then you got CPP and EI on top of that. Then you got 13% tax on everything that you spend in Ontario. I live in Ontario, so obviously I know more about the Ontario taxes than I do about other provinces. Other provinces have different rates and this and that, but in Ontario, so you're paying 30% of your income in that major tax bracket. You're paying 13% on everything else, and then most people, if you own a home, then you've got municipal taxes on top of that. We've got crazy taxes on alcohol and tobacco. I'm not a smoker, but I do like to enjoy a beer here and there. And it's 50% tax. It's crazy. And people say, oh, well, just don't drink. Just don't drink then. Well, you know what? People like to have a beer. People like to have a glass of wine, and we shouldn't be penalized to that level, like 50% tax is just, it's insane. It's insane. And then there's all kinds of hidden taxes on fuel, everything else. Like everywhere we turn in Canada, we're taxed. And, you know, the government, their answer to everything is more government and more tax. So, okay, so now you want to put this school lunch program, and as soon as the government gets involved in anything, it just turns into a fiasco. We all know this. Look at the gun program. What? They've spent millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they haven't even got one gun back. It's crazy. And it's just indicative of everything they do. Everything they do is an absolute shit show. And you want to trust them to feed your kids? No, absolutely not. I mean, I'm glad that my kids are all adults. I'm an old guy. My kids are all adults, and I'm so glad they're not in the school system for many reasons. There's a whole video I could do on that. But you know, the government, they're misguided. They're absolutely misguided, and they portray everything as they're helping Canadians. They're not helping us. They're helping themselves. They're making government bigger and more intrusive in our lives, and that's wrong. And we don't need that. We don't need the government managing every facet of our lives. And okay, so what was the last thing? The last thing was the Canada Strong Pass. Oh wow, big deal. So it's already expired for this year. It ended in September, and they're bringing it back next year. So big whoop-de-doo. You can go to parks for free next summer. Like, okay, thank you. Anyways, that's it for my Thanksgiving holiday weekend rant. As always, peace.